Good evening, children. Welcome to English class. Children, what did you learn from your last class? Yes, you have listened to the story Rightful Inheritors of the Earth by Vaikam Muhammad Bashir. What message did you get from it? Yes, all the living things in the earth are real inheritors of the earth. All have the right to live their own. Now, let us see the next part of this Unit 3. The Book of Nature. Children, all of you know that Jawaharlal Nehru was a freedom fighter and he was put in jail for several times. Then he became the first Prime Minister of independent India. His daughter Indira was the first lady Prime Minister of India. Nehru was also called as Chachaji due to the special affection towards the children. Children, we have said it that Nehru was a freedom fighter and he was put in jail for several times. And when Indira Priyadarshini was a child of your age, ഇന്ദിരാ പ്രിയദർശിനി തൻ്റെ ബാല്യകാലത്ത് അച്ഛനോടൊപ്പം താമസിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല. കാരണം പണ്ഡിറ്റ് നെഹ്റു ആ സമയത്ത് ജയിലിലായിരുന്നു. So he could not spend his time with his daughter, but he wished to bring up his daughter as a good individual to a society. So he used to write a letters to his daughter. Those collection of letters were published in the form of a book. Can you name it? Yes, letters from a father to his daughter. When Indira was a child, she was in Mussoorie. Mussoorie belonged to Uttarakhand state. Her father, Nehru, was in Allahabad. Allahabad is in Uttar Pradesh. Both of them are lived at different places. So he used to write a letter to his daughter. Okay. The Book of Nature is one of those letters. In this letter, do you want to know what was Nehru trying to tell his daughter? Yes. Shall we read the passage? Okay. Take your textbook. Take the page number 89. Letters from a father to his daughter is a collection of letters written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his 12-year-old daughter Indira in the summer of 1928. At that time, Nehru was in Allahabad and Indira was in Mussoorie. Nehru used to write letters from time to time to Indira. The Book of Nature is one of those letters. The Book of Nature. When you and I are together, you often ask me questions about many things and I try to answer them. Now that you are at Mussoorie and I am in Allahabad, we cannot have these talks. I am therefore going to write to you from time to time short accounts of the story of our earth. I am afraid I can only tell you very little in these letters of mine. But that little, I hope, will interest you and make you think of the world as a whole and of other peoples in it as our brothers and sisters. When you grow up, you will read about the story of the earth and her peoples in fat books. You will find it more interesting than any other story or novel that you may have read. You read history in books. But in old times when men did not exist, surely no books could have been written. How then can we find out what happened then? We cannot merely sit down and imagine everything. This would be very interesting, for we could imagine anything we wanted to and would thus make up the most beautiful fairy tales. But this need not be true, as it would not be based on any facts that we had seen. But although we have no books written in those far off days, fortunately we have some things which tell us a great deal as well, almost as a book would. We have rocks and mountains and seas and stars and rivers and deserts and fossils of old animals. These and other like things are our books for the earth's early story. And the real way to understand this story is not merely to read about it in other people's books, but to go to the great book of nature itself. I think all of you read the passage along with me. Yes, now can you say what was the author trying to tell? Yes, the story of the earth. Here Nehru point out that he was afraid that he could tell a very little in those letters. Why? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അദ്ദേഹം ഭയപ്പെട്ടത്? ലെറ്ററിൽ കൂടി കുറച്ച് മാത്രമേ പറയാൻ കഴിയുകയുള്ളൂ എന്ന് ഓർത്തപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഭയപ്പാടുണ്ടായി. കാരണം എന്താണ്? Yes, Nehru had a vision not only about his daughter but also all the children in our country. He had always believed that children are the future of our country. He once said that children of today will make tomorrow's India. The way we bring them up will determine the future of our country. അതായത് ഇന്നത്തെ കുട്ടികളാണ് ഭാവി ഇന്ത്യ എങ്ങനെയാകണമെന്ന് തീരുമാനിക്കുന്നത്. സോ നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും സമൂഹത്തിന് നന്മ ചെയ്ത് നല്ല കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളായി ജീവിക്കണം. ഓക്കെ. Here, what did Nehru mention? Yes, the story of the earth. In olden times, when men did not exist, was there any books? No. Which line tell us this? Yes, fortunately, we have some things which tell us a great deal as well, almost as a book would. Then, can you say what are the things which tell us the story of the earth? Yes, rocks, mountains and seas and stars, rivers and deserts and fossils of old animals. These are the things which will tell the story of the earth. Now, what is the real way to understand the earth? Yes, to go to the nature itself. What does it mean? Yes, only through observation we can understand the things in the nature. Through observation, we can understand the things in the nature. Now, shall we move to the next paragraph? Yes. You will, I hope, soon begin to learn how to read this story from the rocks and mountains. Imagine how fascinating it is. Every little stone that you see lying on the road or on the mountainside may be a little page in nature's book and may be able to tell you something if you only knew how to read it. To be able to read any language, Hindi or Urdu or English, you have to learn its alphabet. So also you must learn the alphabet of nature before you can read her story in her books of stone and rock. Even now perhaps you know a little how to read this. Dear children, we have read that he was very interesting to read the story of the earth. Which quality of Nehru reveals here? Yes, his love towards nature. What is the meaning of fascinating? Yes, interesting and very attractive. Now, when we want to learn languages, what should we need? Yes, alphabets. What are the pages of nature's book? Yes, every stone that lying on the road or on the mountain side is to be a little page in nature's book. To read any language, what should we need? Yes, the alphabets. You have seen variety of things in the nature. These things are the alphabets of the nature's book. നോക്കൂ, നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഭൂമിയിൽ വൈവിധ്യം നിറഞ്ഞ പലതരം സാധനങ്ങളുണ്ട്, ജീവനുള്ളവയും ജീവനില്ലാത്തവയും. അപ്പോൾ ഈ വസ്തുക്കളാണ് നമ്മുടെ പ്രകൃതിയുടെ ആൽഫബറ്റ്. എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങളൊരു പെബിൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? എന്താണ് പെബിൾ? പെബിൾ മീൻസ് സ്മൂത്ത് ആൻഡ് ഷൈനി സ്റ്റോൺ. Dear children, do you like to play in the seashore? Yes. What are the things attracted there? The sunrise, sunset. Okay, you like to play in the seashore, don't you? Yes. Did you ever notice or think how the sand are there? How a bit of rock is turned to a pebble? Do you want to know that? Yes. For that we have good eyes to see and good ears to hear. Let us know what is the history behind the rock to pebble. For this, we have to go through the next part of the story. Look here, if you see a little round shiny pebble, does it not tell you something? How did it get round and smooth and shiny without any corners or rough edges? If you break a big rock into small bits, each bit is rough and has corners and rough edges. It is not at all like a round, smooth pebble. How then did the pebble become so round and smooth and shiny? It will tell you its story if you have good eyes to see and ears to hear it. It tells you that once upon a time, it may be long ago, it was a bit of rock. Just like the bit you may break from big rock or stone with plenty of edges and corners. Probably it rested on some mountain side. Then came the rain and washed it down to the little valley where it found a mountain stream, which pushed it on till it reached a little river. And the little river took it to the big river, and all the while it rolled at the bottom of the river, and its edges were worn away. Thus the rough surface was made smooth and shiny, so it became the pebble that you see. Somehow the river left it behind and you found it. If the river had carried it on, it would have become smaller and smaller till at last it became a grain of sand and joined its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach, where little children can play and make castles out of the sand. If a little pebble can tell you so much, how much more could we learn from all the rocks and mountains and the many other things we see around us? Now, have you got the idea from the passage how a bit of rock turned into a pebble? Yes, long ago it was a bit of rock with plenty of edges and corners. It may be broken from a big rock or stone. Then it rested on some mountain side. Then came the rain and washed it down to the little valley, where it found a mountain stream, which pushed it on until it reached a little river. And this little river took it to the big river. It rolled at the bottom of the river, and its edges were worn away. Thus the rough surface was made smooth and shiny, so it became the pebble. Then again this pebble is carried over by the river, and it becomes smaller and smaller till at last it became a grain of sand and joined its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach. Okay, now we can see how a bit of rock changed into a pebble. Now can you say, is it took within a days or weeks or years? No, it take a long time. Okay, now did you like the story of the pebble? Did you ever think there is such story behind the pebble? ഈ bit of rock pebble ആയത് എങ്ങനെയെന്ന് കണ്ടു. Now you know the little river carries into the big river, and all the while what happened to the bit of rock? It rolls at the bottom of the river, and its edges were worn away, hence it became smooth and shiny. If the river had carried the pebble and become smaller and smaller, and at last it became a grain of sand and make the beach. If the pebble is telling its own story, how will it begin? Okay, once upon a time, like that. Now children, please look at the second activity that are given in the page number 92. Here is the story of a pebble told by Nehru. Imagine the pebble is telling its own story. How would the story be? You may begin like this. Once upon a time, long ago, I was a bit of rock with plenty of edges and corners. Probably I rested on some mountain side. Like that, you complete the story of a pebble. Okay. From this story, we can understand the Nehru's love for nature. Now, in the present world, nature faces many threats. What are the threats faced by the nature? Yes, deforestation, pollution, exploitation of natural resources, like that. So, we have to make an awareness. Can you prepare a speech to make an awareness to protect the nature? Yes. Children, we have read the speech of Malala. So, I think all of you know how to prepare a speech. Here some clues are given, that means the features of speech are given in the textbook. Children, before preparing a speech, you should go through the features of speech and then try to prepare a speech. Okay. Children, now let us see the editing. After reading the story of the pebble, Harida, a student of class 6, attempted to write the story of a tree. But there are some errors in it. Help her edit the story. Once upon a time, the tree was a seed planted by a gardener. It rested in the soil till the rains came. The seed wished to see the outside world. It pushed out a sprout. From it, two tender green leaves peeped out. The cool wind touched its heart and sunlight shone upon it. It grew and danced in the breeze. Put a full stop here. Then begin with a capital T. The soil gave it food and water. It grew in strength and spread out its branches. It gave shade and people took rest under it. All of you should write these activities in your notebook. Now let us wind up today's class. Okay, thank you.